Hi everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Tax Tips channel. My name is Cherry Chen. I am a chartered professional accountant located in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. And I'm on a mission to help hardworking Canadians to find financial freedom. Today, I have a very special guest here for you. And we have Jamil Rahemtula here, one of our real estate coaches on the Irene Real Estate team. Share some insight with us. But before I get started, make sure that you give us a thumbs up to the video if you find it useful, or hit the subscribe button if you want to stay notified for the latest tax tip and any real estate essentially tips, investment tip. Jamil, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I know that you used to be a general contractor.
Yes.
And I mean, I've gone through so many general contractors as well. I've done so many renovation myself.
Absolutely.
And I've got tons of clients complaining about general contractor and how they are always delaying the project all the time. And every time you talk to investors, they're always like, hey, my contractor disappeared with the money, or like you rarely hear that the contractors are doing well.
Right.
So why is it?
Yeah, great. First of all, thanks for having me on. So first I would say is that the general contractor world it's a tough business to maintain stability because there's so many moving parts. But to your question, I would say finding a good contractor, first of all, they have to be very clear in your communication, very clear on budget, and being able to stick to milestones. For ones that are not able to keep the timelines, the rule of thumb is usually if you call a contractor today and they're able to give you work right away and they're able to start a job within like 3 days or a week, they're not busy. A good contractor is very busy. Outside of that, if they're able to start in a short time, they have a big team, right? But the scalability is relative. So in most cases, if they're starting very early, they're going to probably ask for a large deposit. I say that as a red flag. If the contractor's been around a long time and they have a stable team, they should be able to start work without asking for massive upfront costs because they have the tools and they should have some of the material in hand, in-house already.
Going from that, what is a reasonable amount of deposit that you think you should give to a contractor?
Right. If it's a small job, so it depends on the kind of job, right? So, if you're talking about a trade person, like an electrician or a plumber's going to come in and they're going to probably want to get paid when they start the job right then and there. And I would say 15 to 20% up front. Electricians, they can tell you approximately what their hourly rate is up front, and they could probably even quote you over the phone what the job is, and they'll tell you because in those specific fields, it's pretty transparent. Their costs are out in the open. Here's what it's going to cost. You want me to run new electrical, change your panel, etc. Those numbers are very apparent, so you should be aware ahead of time. This is what's going to cost me. Yeah.
Great. So now, hearing from all my clients' bad experience, are there any tip that you can share with our audience how to manage or keep the general contractor accountable?
Yeah, great question. So I think the first thing is how you found the contractor. So was it through a network? Was it through a realtor? Was it through friends? Was it through family? Or was it through like a website, that you found, online reviews, right? So to the question of accountability, I always say get references. Get references, and actually, 9 out of 10 times people don't actually go to a site. Let's say we're doing a duplex conversion or something like that's major. Go and see the site, right? Because this is a lot of money. We're talking about $60,000 to $100,000 of your money.
So just to clarify, you would visit the existing site where the contractor had done work at.
Yeah, if it's a large job, and if they're proud of their work and they have maintained a good relationship with their client, and any contractor knows that their relationship and communication is critical to growing their business, they will be open to having them go see a site. Now, if it's something like a paint job, a lot of people use social media. So be very careful of like stock photos and things. Look for like detailed pictures where you can see before and after photos, and really talk to at least 3 referrals. My base is 3. Most people don't have the time, but it's going to be worth your money to make those calls or even go see those places to see the quality of workmanship, because the contractor who's a fly-by-night, we call him that, fly-by-night, is not going to be able to give you 3 referrals or not be able to let you see a place. So to me, the relationship was quick in and out, and I don't have enough of a good relationship for me to have that referral. So that to me is the first flag of being like, let's start continuing to look down that list, that Rolodex of contractors. Yeah.
You also mentioned earlier in our conversation that we could potentially provide incentive.
Absolutely. That's always, and contractors always like incentives. So incentive disincentives where you're like, you have a contract in place and it says, if you fail to finish on this date, there's a penalty and we do a holdback. I like to put incentives in and say, okay, we're going to give you an extra X number of dollars if you finish before this date. So then the GC can incentivize his crews to finish on certain dates. And going back to another question that you had earlier about how to keep your contractors in line is try to put together a contract and say, hey, if they've been around a long time, they will have their own contract in place, talking about the deliverables and the milestones that they want to meet and the payment schedule that you need to follow to get your project finished.
I guess the one step up is that when you design the timeline that or milestone deadline that the contractor would have to adhere to, you could even put some incentive on hitting each milestone and really pay for that. To motivate them, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think the carrot really works with contractors because right now, and I think we've talked about this offline, but there's a real shortage of solid tradespeople.
Yep.
And there's with everything that's going on in the market, trying to find people, any contractor will tell you, getting good, solid people to come to work on time and show up and do the job is getting harder and harder every day. So when you go out there and talk to contractors, that's another reason why timing is an issue, because getting good people, realistically providing real timelines, is getting solid people that will do the job on time. Now, being able to throw them a couple more dollars an hour in from a GC side, paying your trades, is way more incentive of just being like, here's my quote and here's what I'm going to get you. But adding that's a great option for sure.
That's really great insight. I know that you are currently renovating your home.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And I think you are the best person to ask, like, what's the best dollar return on investment?
Right.
That's if I were to sell my home like a year down the line and I want to do some renovation.
Okay.
And what is my best bang for the buck?
Great. So I like to take a step back and put my realtor hat on and my contractor hat on. I look at 2 points of view. Like, it depends on your goal. If your goal is to flip,
Yep.
if your goal is to live in or like sell it to a single family, like someone to live in, versus so I should say a renter, it changes the way you target your investments, you target your renovations. But I always say in the beginning, if you're looking to do something that's going to attract highest dollar value, I say look at the mechanicals first, right? Your HVAC, your roof. I say that because as an investor, as a realtor, I say to them, well, look, that furnace is nearly 20 years old. You're going to have to replace that. So you have to also look into those things, and those are long term, right? You can get rental programs. You can buy it outright. Your hot water heater, your air conditioner. Those things are important because if this is for long term, right? Long term hold, is because that investment today is going to pay off in the long run because your bills are going to be lower and it's just less headaches. Versus if this is a flip, someone's probably not going to put money into those things. They're going to look at more cosmetic. In my opinion, paint, cheapest, probably a 60% return on investment. Go with something neutral in color. And another tip I like to tell people is go to your local paint store. I'm not going to give any brands out there, but your major stores, they usually have a designer in-house that will offer you color palette choices so that you can bring your tile or you can bring your flooring and show them what you're looking at, and they can give you some choices with that. So paint is a big one. Flooring, easy choices there. You can go from, $5 a foot to $15 a foot, depends on the kind of hardwood. Go laminate, engineered hardwood. If you're doing basement, a lot of people are doing vinyl because of the waterproof element of it. In your older homes, you want to be protecting your investment.
Yes.
So
less hassle.
And then you can move into washrooms and kitchens. If you're doing a DIY, I know people who like take the original wood cabinets and paint it. Okay, so you save a lot of money that way.
Yep.
Versus ripping it all out and putting new cabinets in. It depends on your budget. But kitchen's key. If you're in a really tight budget, I would say hardware. So changing your kitchen hardware, changing your door hardware. Those add a lot of pop because your eyes go from the ceiling to the floor. So as they see clean lines, they see new designs, your mind obviously goes into a place of modernism. But one point and this is a pet peeve, is that if you're in like a century home and you're trying to go modern, you should go modern throughout. Don't try to go century home, it's a cottage, and then try to mix it with modern and cottage. So it changes the look, because if you're selling, the mindset changes a little bit when you're walking into a home. So try to keep it clean and work with a contractor that can give you some ideas, or a realtor. Yeah.
Great information. That was great. Now, I know that this was all in the past. We're drawing from your past experience, and now you are a real estate coach on the Irene Real Estate team, and what are the best tips for investor at this point from your point of view? And I know that you've been out on the street hunting down deals, and what's the best advice now?
Patience is key. Patience is key. Keep your eye open for, from an opportunity standpoint. A lot of people are, I like to say, if this is related to, investing, I would say you're going to find deals now. You're going to find deals, absolutely going to find deals right now. And just be patient. Have an eye open for things, because we're starting to see more opportunity for negotiation. So when you walk into the house and you see issues, deficiencies, let's say a little bit of signs of water in the basement or knob and tube electrical, you as a buyer have an opportunity to negotiate and actually explain to them, hey, this is going to cost me more in the long run. It's going to cost, as prices have gone up for all type of work, you can actually position that in relation to buying and say, well, look, this is going to cost me X number of dollars. Help me out with the price.
Yep.
Because everyone sees what's happening in the market right now. So that's one thing we're seeing right now. It's starting to come back into the buyer's position versus just all sellers.
So there's room for negotiation.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's always nice, because there was no negotiation for I don't know how long now, for probably last couple of years, no room for negotiation at all. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I really appreciate all the conversation and tip. If you like our video, make sure you give us a thumbs up and share that with your friends, and hit the subscribe button so then you can stay on top of the latest tax tip. Until next time, thanks for watching.